Welcome back to DFYFB. Today we are going to be talking about Thanksgiving stuff. So the first thing that we want to kind of delve into, so you can get to know us a little more, is how we celebrated Thanksgiving while we were growing up. So Zach and I, we live in the United States in America, in the Bible Belt, Oklahoma. So mine was pretty traditional. Zach's might be a little different. He's adopted. I don't know how different it could really be, but
we'll definitely find out. Trust me, we're gonna find out.
We'll find out. So for me though, you're pretty standard. Everybody gets together. When I was much younger, we used to meet at my grandparents' house. My parents, they are divorced now, but when, like, formative years, I guess you would say, we'd all family from all over the state, and some would fly in from out of state to meet for Thanksgiving, and we'd have the turkey and the pie and we'd just make a whole day of it. And we'd go around, say what we're thankful for before we eat and all of that stuff. And then just dig in. And the funny thing I always thought was kind of funny is we didn't hardly eat most of the day, except for like the little cheese and crackers trays. And then we'd have Thanksgiving dinner at like 3:00 in the afternoon.
That's pretty standard.
And then we'd spend like the next several hours, trying not to feel fat on the couch.
I think that's impossible.
And making our way to the pastries and pies and things, because once you stuff yourself full of like the turkey and mashed potatoes and corn and cranberry sauce, and you just, by that, you don't even want to think about pie for like another hour. So you just...
Yeah, I was going to say another hour. Yeah, about an hour.
Oh, and the Macy's Day Parade that they do in New York it was always on TV in the background, and followed by football.
Football, that's definitely...
And my mom is a New England Patriots fan, so whenever the Pats were playing on Thanksgiving, it was a very loud house. She's one of those jump up and yell at the TV kind of football people. So
gotcha.
that was pretty much our Thanksgiving days in a nutshell.
Ours weren't that different in terms of what we did. A lot of the time, obviously being adopted, you might think, just glancing at me, that Thanksgiving really, for me, is I grew up in the South, a Southern family, very similar. We had turkey, honey ham, all the fixings. It was awesome. That was the best part of Thanksgiving. Still is to this day, I think, is the food. Which brings me to kind of where we're at now in my family's Thanksgiving celebration. We get together, and it's very, 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 like, more relaxed than it used to be. In terms of the food is different. Like, instead of the traditional Thanksgiving, like, I think my aunt just decided, we've had this year after year, we're going to go somewhere different. And that usually means, catering. Yeah. So they cater food from places. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds pretty cool, right?
It's a lot of work to put together a big Thanksgiving meal, though. So
I disagree.
Really?
Not that the work side of it. There's a lot of work to it. But it's Thanksgiving. Yeah. It's like one of the 2 times a year, maybe 3 if you count Easter, where you're supposed to kind of like do that traditional, holiday meal.
It's true.
So having like prime rib or ribs or something like that seems a little off.
So they don't even cater turkey. They have, but they kind of change it every.
Sometimes, and it's not a bad thing. I think for me though, I really look forward to those things. Like it's like the one time a year to eat
traditionally American Thanksgiving. American.
So for me, that's always been kind of like the best part of Thanksgiving was the food. So when we don't we don't have stuffing and mashed potatoes and turkey,
right,
kills me.
I feel like you're missing out.
Which is a perfect segue into what is your favorite Thanksgiving food, like to make, and then what do you have to have for it to feel like Thanksgiving?
Well, I have to say, I'm kind of weird. I love stuffing, like Stouffer's stuffing, like out of the box.
Okay.
I know I'm
I've
an
lost a little
uncultured
respect
swine,
for
but
Dani here, but that's okay. There's a lot of people that like stovetop. I'm not hating on it. I used to like it as a kid.
I mean, I think it's just because.
I think it's overly salty.
Well,
That's my problem.
when we were growing up too, like my family was very like lower middle class, so some of the stuff was for ease of making it, and some of it was just because it's cheaper to do it that way. And so for as long as I can remember, stovetop stuffing was what we had with it. I mean, my mom would actually like put it in the bird and everything, so it wasn't just like you made it and
it got some juices in there,
so
flavored up
it
a
actually
bit.
did go in the turkey and was cooked traditionally, but yeah, I don't.
You know what's funny? I mean, like they now say that you really shouldn't do that, obviously because of potential salmonella.
If you don't cook it all the way and to do it right, yeah, it's.
We've never actually stuffed a bird. Now I think about it,
It's awful.
It's awful. Yet stovetop was like, you know, the stuffing part was like your favorite thing to eat.
To eat, yes, yeah.
Or do you mean
putting it
stuffing
in there and? Well, and my mom, she puts like the butter and the stuffing and all the stuff in the turkey, and then she actually like lifts the skin and puts like butter. And lately, she's been putting like lemons and cilantro in there.
Okay.
Amazing, by the way.
That does sound pretty good. I think that was my major gripe, and I love butter, but with stovetop stuffing and this, there's so much butter that it ends up tasting like butter.
Yeah, that's true. It can if you don't.
But I used to eat it as a kid, and this is weird, but I used to just make it and eat it by
could
itself.
eat like a pan of
I know.
stuffing.
Not like a whole pan. I can't finish it, but like I would make stuffing, stovetop as a kid and eat it just to eat it. And that's probably why it kills me and I can't do it right now.
There's a lot of stuff we used to eat as kids that not great for an adult palate.
What? I know I'm going to get roasted for this, but I feel like Kraft macaroni and cheese is like that.
Yeah.
It's like I love real macaroni and cheese. Yeah. And I used to love Kraft macaroni and cheese growing up, and now I'm like, it's not horrible.
It's just not the way. It's not the way you remember it being.
Yeah. It's convenient, but we can do better.
So my favorite food to make though, I like to make desserts like pastry stuff. So I have this one that I call it an apple tart. I don't know if that's the proper terminology for it, but basically just get like the puff pastry sheets and then I take pink lady apples. I have found that I prefer using that type of apple. You just saute it up in a pan with some like sugar and cinnamon until it's all nice and cooked, and then you just lay it in there, cut strips on the side, and then I just crisscross the puff pastry over it and bake it per the instructions, and then you can put like caramel glaze on it or whipped cream or whatever. It's super easy, but it's really darn good.
So Cam eats good, huh?
Cam can eat pretty good, yeah. Between me and then of course my mom, he doesn't even like to go over to his family's Thanksgiving or like dinner holidays anymore because it's just they aren't quite as from scratch festive. Or putting the as much
it was
love.
All the food. Then.
It's the food. It's my mom. She grew up in a huge Catholic family, 12 kids. So she learned from an early age how to feed a lot of people.
Sure.
And I mean, like she makes her potatoes from scratch, like boils them, peels them, mashes them, whips them.
The only way.
My mom's potatoes are pretty good. I'm very excited.
For me, when it comes to food, like Thanksgiving food in general, it's all good. There's really nothing that we have traditionally that I'm not the hugest fan of. But really when it comes down to it, you got to have green bean casserole. You got to have stuffing. You have mashed potatoes and gravy, turkey, and honey ham. Honey ham is probably my favorite because turkey dries out and it's really hard to perfect. So if you don't do well, at least you have the backup.
I guess
protein.
My family, we always did turkey for Thanksgiving, ham for Christmas. So I think to me it sounds strange to have ham or turkey, vice versa, or on both holidays. I don't know.
Well, that actually brings up a good point. Viewers out there, did you have turkey and ham, or just turkey, or maybe just ham, or what did you have? Please let us know. So yeah, definitely. When it comes to the food, love all Thanksgiving food. Pies, pecan.
Pecan pie.
Don't like pumpkin.
I never was a super huge pie person.
You're more the what you made, the tarts.
My mom makes this amazing cheesecake. And
Okay.
honestly, it's really just based off the directions that come on like the Philadelphia cream cheese. But something about the way she makes it is just, there's probably some weird ingredient that I'd never think about when I see the recipe on the box. But it's different. And I don't really like any cheesecake aside from the
Really?
one that my mom makes, because it's so different from most cheesecakes. I don't know.
I would think that you would have to, if you're the Philadelphia cream cheese people,
Right.
you don't put a scrub version of your
You have
recipe
to have
out
a
there.
pretty
You
decent
probably,
recipe anyways, yeah.
Which is funny that you mentioned that, because my mom's known for her pumpkin pies. Mm-hmm. I swear it's just the recipe on the back of the can.
Something about that, though, I mean, it's true what they say, like love, when you make stuff with love,
yeah.
it really makes a difference. It's weird.
It's the same thing with not pumpkin pie. What am I thinking of? A green bean casserole.
Oh.
Just use the French's green bean casserole recipe. It comes out perfect. It's not hard. It's the best. It's not fancy, but
Right.
it doesn't need to be.
It doesn't. Yeah, that's really true.
Nothing about Thanksgiving needs to be fancy. You know, just gathering with your friends and family is the most important thing. Which is a great segue to, what are you thankful for this year?
I am thankful that this year we purchased our first home. So I'm really thankful that I'm starting to feel like an adult.
Hey, that's a milestone.
Even though, I'm closer to 30 than 20, it's taken this long to really feel
That
like
is so depressing to me.
grown up,
You're not
that far away from me. Jeez.
I'm closer to 40 than 30.
So, what are you thankful for now that you don't feel like crap?
I'm thankful I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
But mostly I'm thankful for my friends, my family, my health. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Thankful for my beautiful wife. Thankful I have a job. I'm thankful that I get to do this with you.
Yeah. This is pretty.
And make videos and hopefully, make people, feel great about being friends with other people.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the point.
I'm
Kind of.
thankful you're my friend.
Definitely. So, yeah, that's Thanksgiving in a nutshell. Well, that's this episode of DFYFB. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, leave us a comment below telling us, what you're thankful for this year. And don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our social media. It means Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yep.
The links are in the description. Till next time, I'm Zach.
And I'm Dani. We'll see you next time.